Ikigai oils. And Ikigai, as Marie instigated, that it is actually Japanese philosophy, if you're not already following me, a Japanese philosophy for purpose in life. And it's something that really resonated with me. And I wanted to find my purpose. I think we all want to find a purpose in life, and I truly believe that every single person on the earth has a purpose, and that having these oils in their home will help them become the best version of themselves. So these are my beautiful family. My husband Ben, who's here today, where he is, and my kiddies, Bernard and Emma. But for me, coming into this business, it's been a journey. I did not want to do this as a business. I was quite taken by the oils for the therapeutic benefit, but give me 48 hours and then I wanted to tell the world. So honestly, my Ikigai didn't come straight at me. It took me a while. And this time last year, I was still elite. Who's elite? Who's under elite? You want to be up here next year? So yeah, it's been a busy 18 months. I enrolled October 2015 and found my why in April, and come May, I went elite to gold in 60 days. Woohoo! And then it continued. September, I then went gold to diamond in 30 days. Woohoo! I probably should actually say 30 minutes. It was literally the last 30 minutes of the day, Utah time, that got me from gold to diamond. We were a lean team. I had 500 people when I went diamond. So how can you go to diamond with 500 people? And everyone asked me, how did you do it? And to be honest, I had no idea. I knew how I did it, but I couldn't really communicate it. But it came down to three things, and I'm so grateful that I am right here, right now, in between these two beautiful speakers that you have with Anastasia and after me, Leonie, because Anastasia just talked to you about structure, and Leonie's going to talk to you about momentum, and I'm engagement. And I wrote this like 2 months ago. So, three things. If you take anything away from this presentation, make it to these two things. Structure, engagement, momentum. If you have engagement, you can have momentum, but if you don't have the structure, you're not going to advance. You can have structure without the engagement, you're not going to get momentum. You need all of these things. So the people who put their hand up that are under elite, you're in a fantastic position to really get the groundwork done so that you can engage people, you can learn the basics of the structure, and you can grow your business at a really phenomenal rate if you put hours in. So this was me last year at convention. I was the only person. Just me. I didn't know a soul. I just knew I had to be here. Couldn't afford to come, but I made it happen. I dragged the whole family with me. And this was me this year. Yay! I brought 27 beautiful souls with me, and we've had the best time. But that to me that's engagement. That's engagement. And obviously there were thoughts that couldn't make it, but I'm really proud of them. So why that 85%? Frankly, because we're all wellness advocates. We're all the same. And that's probably the one thing that drew me to this business model. No one made me do it. I didn't have to sign up. Didn't have to do anything in particular. I just had to be a wellness advocate. So I think everyone deserves that respect. And it's not about us, it's about them. It's always about them. We cannot grow where you want to grow without other people. So if you just make it about other people, we're in a beautiful position for serviceship. You've heard it all day, but it's true. So as long as you make it about others and not about yourself, you will be fine. I should just look down here instead of well. This is also where your sharers and builders come from, to be honest. I'm actually going to go through 4 stages of growing in the user, sharer, builder phase. But put your hands up if you actually were ready to build from day one. Ooh, there's lots. I wasn't. Well, give me 24 hours, but most people aren't. You know, who was within the first couple of months? Who was in the first couple of years? Most people, actually, that's a lot. Wow, cool. The other thing, I guess, remember when I talked about structure? They make up 85% of your structure. Imagine any business ignoring 85% of their organization. Silly, right? Okay, so I had a little bit of brainwave in December last year. And I was struggling to get momentum back into my team, and Christmas had actually been a really tough month for us. And I thought, I've got to do something here. This is like, felt like this duck that was just floating with the legs going like this. And I had this thought, because my leaders were struggling, like we'd grown so fast, but then, you have to have personal development growth with that at the same time, and they were doing amazing. But at the same time, I wanted to do more. I wanted to help them. So I had this thought, and Jonathan, again, solidified this a couple of days ago when he said, if you want to get 90% assurance that someone is going to still be in your business in 4 years, you know what he said that you had to do? No, they had to go on LRP, 2 things. LRP and enroll 1 person. So guess what I did last December or January? I said to myself, what would my team look like if every single person just enrolled 1 person? And guess what I thought? My team just doubled. So for me, that took a lot of pressure off, and also the pressure off my leaders, because it's not about the builders, it's not about the leaders, it's about the masses, it's about every single person. And so I'm going to give you a really good activity that everyone can go home and implement. Would that be good? Yeah. Cool. Hang on. Am I up to 19 minutes already?
No.
No. Okay. That's scaring me. I'll keep going. Okay, so let's talk engagement. So why is it so vital for our long-term health of our tree? I'm going to talk about overcoming common roadblocks, some simple and effective engagement activities, and also something that I've heard a lot from a lot of people actually over the weekend or the past week is, why isn't this working? And a lot of that I'm going to come down to is person and message compatibility. So I'm going to give you something that everyone can go and use to tap into every single person in their team. And it's not love languages, and it's not a personality report. So you're interested to hear what that is?
Yes.
Cool. I'll tell you later. Okay, so common mistakes first. Inconsistent wellness consult. I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to tell you about a wellness consult. There are amazing resources around you. If there's one, I would say YouTube. Chantal Wolf did an amazing series only a couple of months ago. I think it was Mara. She did one with wellness consults. Phenomenal. Just go watch it. But honestly, that's your first point of connection with everyone. And just do me one thing, one promise. Don't move someone within the 14 days without at least speaking to them. Because if you had taken my face value at the workshop of 2 people in a cafe when I enrolled, I was never doing the business, I just wanted the oils and I didn't want LRP. If you'd spoken to me 48 hours later, I was telling the world. So always cool. Low loyalty reward uptake. For me, loyalty rewards program and momentum are the same thing. You can't have, engagement. Loyalty rewards and engagement are exactly the same thing. You can't have one without the other. If they're engaged on loyalty rewards. So you just go back into your back office and have a look. If you're sitting at about 50%, you're doing good. If you're above 50%, you're doing great. Limited forms of communication. Now, social media is one thing. I'm just going to touch on this. I'm not really going to go into it. But just remember, not everyone's on Facebook. Not everyone has email. Not everyone really loves the internet. Sometimes people are actually stepping away from that. So don't forget to send that personal message to someone just because they're in your team. Too many incentives. Now, who here loves incentives? I love incentives. I absolutely love incentives. But you know who love incentives? People who are already engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. You want to know something really fascinating? With incentives, there's 2 different types. There's intrinsic and extrinsically motivated incentives. If you do too many extrinsically motivated incentives, you're going to stop people from being engaged. And this is why. Imagine you have someone who's new and they've just made a salad and they've used lime. And they love it. It's delicious. They wanted to share it. Okay, they're really excited to share it with your Facebook group, their salad dressing. But there you put out an incentive because you want to create communication within your team, and you say, hey, if anyone shares a recipe, you'll get a free grapefruit. What do you think that person's going to do now? She's not going to post it. Because before, she wanted to do it because she wanted to share. She wanted to share that love and that knowledge that she knew. But now, if she puts it up there, guess what she's going to think? She's putting it up there because she wants a free grapefruit. And that's not why she was going to do it. So just really be cautious of the kind of incentives you're using and who you're making them who they're towards. Your leaders, absolutely. I love them. Jessie's fantastic at doing incentives. and I bite every single time. But when you're looking at people for engagement, you've got to go old school. And logic decisions over heart-based decisions. This is a really important one. If you're using too much of this and not enough of this, I'm not going to hit it because I don't have a microphone will yell at me. The universe will start either throwing you brick walls or mud pies.
Mm-hmm.
If the stuff that you can't get past is stopping you from getting where you want to go, or stuff you just got to clean up all the time. So if this is happening to you, if things just aren't working for you, you're coming too much from the logic part, not from the heart. And simple things like that is short-term planning, like short-term thinking, holding enrollments. Don't do it. Structuring for rank. Don't do it. That's not how I built, and I never built like that, and I still got to where I was in the rank that I did. Okay, so these are 5 excuses. If you can conquer these excuses from other people, you will be doing fantastic. There are 5: time, money, information, partner or support, and trust. Time. That's a simple one. We all have the same amount. Share the pipeline story. Assess pipeline story. Phenomenal. My favorite saying is, do what you've got to do now so you can do what you want to do later.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Money. I mean, that's easy. You know, everyone, this might be to enroll. It might be to join LRP. It could be for lots of other things. But there's always an excuse for money somewhere along the line. So if you can get really comfortable with this, you'll be doing a lot better. And the reason why I'm giving you these excuses is because I want you to understand that, especially with the information, who here has had that tricky question that's come at you and you don't know how to respond, and maybe you did it the wrong way? Like, we've all had them, but they're the learning curves that we have to go through. And if you can just have an understanding that these kind of things are going to come up, and you have an area to support your belief in the product, your belief in the business, your belief in the value of these oils, you'll be fine. And all they want is reassurance. That's all they want. Partner support's another one. This might stop someone from, one, even getting the Home Essentials kit in the first place. It could stop them from wanting to build a business. So I think that was just spoken about with Marie as well. Like, you've got to speak to the partner. You've got to make sure, especially with anyone who's wanting to share or build. And trust. Trust is built over time. But the best way to, if someone's enrolled into your team, they've had the trust already from someone. So just facilitate that. It could be an enroller, it could be anyone. Okay, so these are my 4 types of people. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so show of hands. Let's start with number 1. Who was not, okay, this is in the first month. Okay? Who was a number 1? Who was doTERRA Rice instantly? Hey, that's great. Awesome. Who was the number 2? So number 2 was like LRP, they're engaged, but they're like, oh no, I can't share with my friends, I don't want to sell. They love the oils, they're engaged, but they're not doing anything. Yep? And then you've got the 2. So this is the reactive, need to be prompted type person. Oh yeah, I used lavender on my son's boo-boo the other day, it was great. It's like, they're not going to on LRP anytime soon, really, are they? Because they don't have the uses for it yet. So for me, these people wouldn't be engaged yet. Huge potential, huge potential. One thing I will say is, you might have someone in the occasional user area. Don't ask them to hold a workshop for you. Don't, because they're not engaged. They're not engaged. What kind of people are you going to get to the workshop? Engage these people, absolutely. Invite them to your workshops, but only on the premise for them to learn more. And for them to fall in love with the oils, understand the oils, get the trust back, and then they will naturally move to number 2 and move to number 1, and then you'll be right. And then we've got number 4. Who's had someone who just hasn't even opened the box? And that could be for lots of different reasons. It could be because they're scared. It could be because life's busy. It could be because they feel really silly and they don't want, I'm going to get straight. It could be because they don't want to ask the questions again. These people need time, these people need wellness consults, these people need your love. But these are different types of people, so you're comfortable with that? So how we encourage it, I want you as leaders, I'm going to refer to every single person here as a leader. I know that term is normally held for people up in the ranks, but I don't believe that. I honestly don't. I feel like if you have enrolled someone, you're a leader, because you're a leader to them. They might not know anyone else. They only see you. So if you have that mindset from day one that you're in leadership, okay, you're in that leadership position, you will act that way and you'll progress that way. So hold the vision of doTERRA. If you've got a bigger team, be really transparent. Remember that I was really conscious that every single person in my team can only see what's below them. They can't, like, I can see legs and trees and other people. They can't. But every now and again I'll speak to one of my builders and they go, oh no, we've been talking. Then my silvers are all talking together and I'm like, oh, okay. I kind of felt left out, but at the same time it was really sweet that they felt connected enough to actually communicate outside of my help. They couldn't see each other, but they knew each other were there. So that creates connection. It also makes sure you empower the enroller. Don't come in with people, if someone shows an activity and you're like, oh, I want to go help that person, or they've come to you for help, just make sure you honour the person who enrolled that person. Otherwise you're taking away the ability for that person to help a friend. And that's going to really decrease your engagement. If friends are helping friends, guess what? They continue to help their friends. So always make sure that you don't bypass the enroller. Yeah, I said the last one. Okay, so this is it. This was my magical aha moment. It's my U+1 or a pay it forward promo, as I did in January. So when I thought, hey, what if every single person just enrolled one person? And I didn't talk about LRP, and I didn't talk about 100% promo, I didn't talk even about commissions. All I did was said, if you're grateful for the oils that you have, and you're grateful to the person who enrolled you, be that person for someone else. And that's a heart-based decision. And you know what happened? Within 24 to 48 hours of me putting that up, I had over 30 people who had never shared, never shown interest. Right, I'm here to help. I'm here to help Sally and Jane. I'm here to help Tom. I'm here to help Sarah, Marie, Vanessa, and Tom. Within 48 hours, I had over 100 names of people that I'd never met before. And they were on the radar all of a sudden for people that wanted to be supported. All because they wanted to, not because I made them. So this is something that's super easy. I took away the excuses. Can you see here? I took away the excuses for time. Happy to do it, happy to help. Took away the excuses for money. I'll send you everything you need. I sent them little sample bottles, a wild orange, Empower kit, I sent them the lift guide, I sent them the basics, sent them invites, and they were so grateful. Because you know what stops people from wanting to share? I don't want to go buy 30 Empower kits. I don't want to help my sister. They just needed one, and I gave them that to them. So the big question is, this is the engagement part. This is where, hang on, I'm doing all this stuff. It's working, it's not working, it's not working. Sometimes you might be asking the right question, but you're giving the wrong solution. So I've got something for you. And it's really actually quite simple. I don't know why I haven't seen it in the industry before. Numerology. So I had a few. I mean, it's pretty basic, really, but I have a beautiful soul in my team, Alison Clark, and she's from Essential Love. So she did this for me. I'm not going to go through every single one, but if you want to contact her, please do. But every single person has a number, and if you know someone's birthday, and guess what they put on their enrollment thing? Their birthday. If you know their birthday and their birth month, you know a little bit about them. Now, they could be living in their purpose or outside of their purpose, but either way, you know. And when you look into numerology and you get a report done or something, you will start to realise, wow, that is me. So the reason why I say this is so important, and I've got 2 minutes left, so I've got to hurry up, is you might look at someone, say, who's a 2, who's born in February. Are you motivated by helping people? Would you like to know about healing hands, compact sourcing, but maybe not CPTG? You know what I mean? So you can actually start to figure out different ways to engage them. We'll go through the next slide. This is the other numbers. You've got 6 through 9 and then 11 and 12. 11 and 22, sorry. Again, so you might have someone who's motivated by compassion. Someone's motivated by power and money. If you know these basic things, you might be able to slightly change the way that you're communicating with the people in your team, or at least engaging with them, because maybe you're just not talking their language. So what can we do? As leaders, we are all leaders, yeah? What can we do? We can lead by example. I've always said to my team, I'm not asking you, and will I never ask you to do something that I have not done myself? Because I think that's really important. I think that's super, super important.
Yeah.
You've got to believe in them. I love every single person in my tree because they're there for a reason. I love them all. Every single 800, I can't, they keep growing now, it just goes faster and faster. But you've got to believe in them before they believe in themselves. Okay, so just treat them like your children. You've got little dreams for them. Don't put them in ballet if they want to go play soccer, but hold a vision for them until they can see that for themselves. And that means not taking their enrollments away from them because they don't see the opportunity in the business. That's just a big no-no, okay? Keep it of culture. You've heard from the owners of doTERRA of how well we're doing with that, and we should be really proud of that. But I think there's something just to always remember. And duplication, obviously that's the whole point of this business, right? That we can step away and have everyone else kind of run off and do their thing. But how easy would that U+1 be to duplicate? Super easy. It doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be complicated. I did not run a workshop for 5 months, people. Didn't. I wasn't up to it. Now I'm talking in front of 800 people, but anyway. Seriously, 5 months of one-on-ones. People do it differently. People build differently. Be comfortable with that. And always be of service. And I've got 30 seconds to left and I've nailed it. Right. So, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are leaders. And you're all leaders. Well done.